Hello, hey guys. Good day to everyone. Cold out here this morning, or this day rather. But I endured through the night, so I'm grateful to the Most High. You know, I endured through the night. Oh, it's cold. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, people are starting to, come in here in this parking lot, I suppose, and go to the bagel shop. The deli, there's a little deli over there, so, yeah. Well, I hope you're all well. Excuse me. But yeah, it's pretty cold. I'm surprised there's no cold blue. I don't understand these, I don't understand it, but yeah, it should be a cold blue. It's pretty cold, to sleep out here. So, but I'm okay. I'm doing well. It's a pretty safe spot where I'm at. Oh, excuse me, pardon me. So, yeah, cold. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a good start to their day. I had me a cup of coffee already at Wawa. I made my little coffee. I had my hot water and everything. Excuse me. So, yeah, I'll be so grateful when this weather finally gets warm. Really. But I endured. I made it through the major part of the winter time. So, we had all that snow and ice and everything. So I'm grateful. I'm in the United States. I'm in the USA. Hello. Good day to you. Good day. I'm in the United States, so just trying to stay warm. Oh, excuse me. I would love to sleep here for the rest of the day and oh, okay. Nice. That's good. That's good. Yeah, this is one of those mornings I could just sleep, but you gotta get up. The businesses are starting to, open and everything. So, I'm in front of an army recruiter office, of all places, But I guess you could say it's as safe as it gets, Yeah. You just got to endure hardship, just like the word says, we got to endure hardship, You can see my breath. It's cold. But hopefully the sun will come out today, and warm us up a bit, Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Revelation 2:9 says they are the synagogue of Satan. Those who say they are Jews and are not, but of the synagogue of Satan. So, and that star that you have, that's the star of Molech. That's the star of Renfam. That's satanic. So you need to do some research, my friend. You need to do some research. Hello, hey there. Hello. Hey, safe access. Hello, guys. Yeah, well, you know, yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Well, because I talk about scriptures on my channel, so, I don't follow Judaism. I just follow the scriptures. But, we can't have spam in the chat. Just keep posting the same message. But, no, I actually, the chosen ones are those who are keeping the Most High's commandments. So I hope you're keeping the commandments. I hope you're not reading the Babylonian Talmud. Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, safe access. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me, guys. Oh, oh, oh. I don't want to get up, but I have no choice. I would love to just keep sleeping here. I would love to stay and keep resting, but I gotta get myself together and get up and yeah. But yeah, that's the Star of Ren fam. Well, I mean, I don't believe we should be genociding our neighbors. That's for sure. That's not loving your neighbor when you're dropping bombs on your neighbor. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah, that's not fulfilling the commands. Dropping bombs and genociding people. That's not the way of Yahushua. And there's 12 tribes, there's 12 gates, there's 12 tribes. It's not just one tribe. Yeah. That's the only part with Judaism. They think they're the only ones that are chosen and going to get saved. It's a mixed multitude. It's a mixed multitude. But we have to be keeping his commandments. And the second commandment, the second greatest commandment is to love thy neighbor as thyself. And there's a lot of religious narcissists, like, they feel superior to others. Hey, fools. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just cold. I'm just cold. Um, yeah, I'm just cold. But I'll survive. I got to endure. The days are evil. We're in the last days. A lot of people don't understand. We're in perilous times, hard to deal with. But I'm okay. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it's gonna get worse. The food is going up. It's expensive, and I'm on a fixed income right now, and a lot of people are very judgmental. They don't understand domestic violence, homelessness, toxic families dynamics, you know. But it's all good. The Most High, the Creator, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yeah, I believe in him. I trust in him. I believe in Yahushua, the Messiah. Some may call him Jesus Christ, but I believe, yes. But I'm not perfect. None of us are. There's only one who made it at the right hand of the Father. There's only one who made it at the right hand of the Father. Well, I just keep my faith, fools. That's it. I get sad. I get hopeless sometimes. Not hopeless, but I just, my hope is in the Messiah. Yeah, my hope is in the Messiah. Oh, that's right, Keyshawn Hilton. I hope I said your name right. Yeah, I know it's like, yeah, sometimes I've learned to be invisible. My whole life I've been dismissed, invisible, so I know what you mean. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, at least you're blessed to have your vehicle. That helps. If I had a car, I'd be in my car. you know. But my plan is to get affordable housing. That is the goal. Yeah. Yeah, it's all good. I'm a survivor. I'm strong. I have my faith, but I'll be all right. This is like a little um yeah, I'd be in the car. I'd be in a car. Or a tent. But it gets cold. I'm in New Jersey. I'm in the United States, so And things are getting bad, you know. People don't really know how bad it is, but I just hold on to faith and that's it, you know, just hold on to my faith, you know. That's it. You know, sometimes people bless me with food. I don't try to panhandle and beg and I don't steal, but they'll see me. Yeah, I earned my disability money, that's for sure, yeah. Yeah, your tax dollars are paying for your pedophile president, but you're more worried about the poor that are trying to survive in the streets. But okay. Yeah, right, exactly, April. April Fools. I think I finally see what your name, I get what your name represents, April Fools, right? Okay. Yeah, yeah, I know it's always been this way. You're absolutely right. The poor keep getting poorer. Yeah. And this is not, this country is very hypocritical. You know, the safety nets are there for a reason because this is a so called Christian nation, right? But they don't really run on biblical principles at all, you know? Yeah, that's the whole point. You love your neighbor. Your tax dollars pay into the system. You know, when we're working, we pay into that safety net. So, yeah, those are my tax dollars. That's right. I worked, you know. Hey, representative for Jesus Christ. How you doing? How you doing there? Appreciate you. Right, exactly. So that the safety nets are there because that is a biblical principle to love your neighbor, to care for the poor. But we're losing all that under, you know, it's starting to, you know, we're under wrath. Really, America's under her judgment, according to Scripture. That's my belief. You know, this is a nation of pride, arrogance. People don't want to repent. You know, so it's the Most High can bless a nation, but He can also judge. You know, yeah. Yeah, it's not a fairy tale, my friend. So, you're entitled to your opinion, but you're certainly not entitled to what I believe, you know? Hello, Shane. How you doing? Good to see you. Good morning. Good day. Yeah, the love of many is going to wax cold, you know, for sure. And I pray to the Most High all the time because being homeless and being looked, you know, treated like you're just nothing, you know, it can turn your heart cold if you're not careful. You know, you can turn cold, but I pray. That's why I pray, and I try to still show love no matter what. I try to, you know, show love and not let my, you know, let it bother me. You know, the way people treat me. You know. Yeah, it does. It does. They look past you sometimes. I mean, but I don't do drugs and alcohol, so, you know, I try to keep my hygiene up as best as I can, you know. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it works out well. Thank you, Quick. Appreciate that. It works out well because I'm not going to take the mark of the beast, so I'm not going to. Did you get jabbed? You know? Because a lot of people took the jab because they had no faith. They're, you know, they had no faith. And the churches push the jab on the people too. You got to come out of those churches. Yeah, those churches. Yeah. But yeah, prayer works good. I'm not starving. I'm eating pretty good for a homeless person. Trust and believe. You know, the Most High is good. He takes care of me. So, oh, thanks, April Fools. Appreciate that. Yeah, no, you know, sometimes the tax dollars are there for the safety net. So obviously you don't understand how this country operates, do you? You don't understand how the country operates. I pay taxes. What are you talking about? I earn my money. Get educated. Get educated. You sound like you're uneducated about how the system is supposed to operate. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, this person, they don't get it. They don't understand. They don't get it. You pay into the system. I hope you never get sick. I hope you never break a leg. I hope you none of your family ever becomes disabled because yeah, you're just speaking out of ignorance. You really are. Well, I wouldn't do that, but yeah, I know what you mean. Hello there. Hello, hello. Yeah, definitely stuck in the matrix for sure. But see, that's what I'm saying. These people, my first priority as a homeless woman is my safety. You know, that's it. Is your safety. You know, there's a lot of sexual predators out here in these streets. A lot, and that's the first priority for a homeless woman is her safety and her well-being. That's it. I don't hang out with other people. I'm to myself. You know. And I do pray for my daily bread, and sometimes, I get blessed. I get blessed. Me, I'm in the East Coast. Yeah, the East Coast, New York, New Jersey, Philly. Yeah, yeah. But yeah. Oh, Virginia. Okay, cool. Virginia. Nice. Well, I just pray these people never get sick, break a leg, can't go to work, and then they're. Oh, thank you, Don. Appreciate you. Because the safety net is there for that purpose, to help the people that, want to get on their feet. Hello, Houston. Hello there, Houston. I used to live in Texas. I just actually got back from Texas, but I was at the women's shelter. The women's shelters are dangerous. That's what people don't understand. I challenge any one of you pretend you're homeless, go to a women's shelter for 1 week or a men's shelter and tell me what you think before you judge. Because they're dangerous, they're dirty, the staff doesn't, care. They're just getting a paycheck. Yeah, quick, you have a lot to learn. You really do. People like you have a lot to learn. You're a hard-headed, stiff-necked, wicked generation of vipers. You really are. You really are. Good. Work. Take the mark of the beast. You probably took the jab because you worked so much. You could, you probably made work your idol, and you might have got the mark of the beast already in that mRNA DNA changer called the COVID-19 vaccine. Come on. Hey, what's going on? We're just talking. The Quick seems to have issues with people where his tax dollars goes, but he doesn't mind paying for the pedophile president that's raping children. You don't mind that. Yeah, that's what they do, sweetheart. They kick you when you're down. But I'm really not down because half of these working folk, they're miserable. They're miserable. They're miserable people. And they have no love in their heart. They're just miserable. You know? Not all of them. I go, but a majority of them are working just to survive themselves and they have no respect. You know? They don't have any respect. Heaven forbid heaven forbid, they get sick or anything. Yeah, you're not a happy person because you got to put me down. So you're a liar, and I already know you're lying. You're not happy. You're miserable, and you're full of hatred. That's why you come on this live trying to knock somebody down because you don't feel good. You really don't. And you're not fooling anybody in the chat. You're not fooling anybody in my chat, the ones who can see you. I have a job. Thank you. Exactly. He's miserable, or she. They're miserable. They're miserable. Oh, you got a PayPal? Yeah, a lot of people come on, promise you money and all this stuff, and they never provide. That's why I trust in the Father. You got a lot of people that try to play on your emotions and your feelings like they're going to help you. The only person that helps me is the Heavenly Father. That's it. Prayer, fasting, staying in His Word, trusting in His provisions. I'm not trying to come at you. Maybe you are a good person and you want to help because many have helped and donated, but I don't know. Because that's another game people like to play on here. Oh, I'll PayPal you. I'll do this. No, don't play games with people. Don't manipulate people's emotions and feelings because I'm not saying that's what you're doing. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Tell your pedophile president to get off the welfare. Why are you worried about American citizens who are trying to survive? Exactly. They're just a troll and they're miserable. That's why I'm letting them talk. I know people say don't feed the trolls, but, you know, no, I'm not angry. You're gaslighting. You're gaslighting. I'm not angry about money. I'm good. I have all my needs met. Trust and believe. I don't need your money, okay? First of all, I'm not a man. Thank you. Yeah, well, this troll is going to get blocked because, obviously this person is a miserable, miserable person. Misery loves company, so you're not welcome in the chat because I'm not miserable. And I'm certainly not angry that people don't send me money. It's called manipulation. When you come on someone's channel and you pretend like you're going to help them and ask them, you're offering and you don't provide, no, my heavenly father is going to provide. That's why I said my heavenly father. Hello, Christ centered. How you doing? Right. Yeah, exactly. Right now it's cold. It's a little cold temperature. Yeah. Yeah. That's all right. He's going to be judged accordingly, Tom. I see you, mate. Yeah. But sometimes, I don't mind, letting them spew their venom because that's all it is. It's hatred, it's misery. They see somebody like me and he's a miserable person. Because if you were a happy, content person, hey, how you doing? I'm okay, Christ-centered. I'm good. The Father is good. Christ is King. Yahushua HaMashiach is King. Some call him Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm good. I'm not worried about that. That's right. I don't ask for money on here. Sometimes people offer, but sometimes they just like to play games. They play with your mind and your emotions, like try to get your hopes up, like they're going to help you. And yeah, that's not godly. Let your yes mean yes and your no mean no. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty positive. I'm not a negative person. I don't and if I have negative emotions, I'm not trying to take them out on other people. Yeah, I believe in Yahushua, Holly. Thank you. I call him by his name, Yahushua. That's who I love. Yeah. I see you, gray man. Yeah, yeah. But that's I'm not here to push, but the Bible makes it very clear, the scriptures is clear that the number of the man is 666 and that adds up to JC. So, I don't follow Judaism. I know most people haven't heard of the real Messiah's name, you know. All right, thank you, Kashan. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Keep me in your prayers. Yeah. All praise to the Most High. Oh, thank you. Yahushua, I don't know. I can't type it in the chat, but yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what I choose to call him. So yeah, yeah. I came out of Christianity and I started reading the scriptures. Hello, Boston, 555. Oh my goodness. So, oh, thank you, Gen X. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's not how I spell it. That's Lou White, how Lou White is a Freemason. He admits it on his book, Gray Man, but thank you. It's all good. It's Yahushua. But I don't argue. I don't debate. Yeah, it's all good. You didn't know. Yeah, I can't type it in. It is Yahushua, but hey, how you doing? Good day to you, Dolphins. Dolphin. But yeah, no, everybody's got to work out their own salvation. Everybody. Yeah, Holly, I'm not here to push it on you. I do believe in the Son of God, of course, the Son of the Father, Yahuwah. Yes, I believe in him, the Messiah. I don't follow Judaism. You know, my faith is strong. You got to have strong faith when you're out here. Yeah. Yeah. If I got a chance to be a warrior, who will teach a lesson to, yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of bullies, you know. Yeah. But no, I don't hate Christians or anything. Of course not. Of course not. It's the doctrine. It's the doctrines, you know. Thank you, Holly. I appreciate you. You know, where two or more are gathered in His name, He is there. So, I just, you know, it's the doctrines. That's okay, Gray Man. That's all good. I understand. It's all good. Oh, thank you, Turn to God. Appreciate you. Yeah, don't worry. It's all good. I just can't type in for some reason this phone, because my other phone was broken. So, yeah, it's okay. If I had my laptop, you know, out and stuff, I could do it. But I hope everyone is well, you know, and doing well. Thank you for the support. Hello, India. Thank you. Hello, India. Oh, thank you, April Fools. Yeah, you know, yeah, I'm trying to stay warm right now. I'm getting ready to get up. My alarm should go off shortly. Yeah, I have an alarm coming up, my 6 o'clock alarm. So, yeah. Yeah, the alarm still goes off. But I am cold. You know, there wasn't a code blue. I was at the women's shelter, but they're dangerous, you know. I was being threatened to be stabbed and everything. It's dangerous, you know. The streets are dangerous, but the shelters are dangerous too. So you just got to stay strong. And they weren't even bullying me at the shelter about my physical appearance, to be quite honest. They were bullying me and another resident because we were talking about the Bible, you see. We were talking about scriptures. So, no, I'm not at war. I just like camo. I'm in a spiritual battle. My battle is spiritual, you know, spiritual warfare, wickedness in high places. Yeah, some of the residents were bullying, you know, me and another lady. Um, yeah, and it's just horrible, you know. Shelters are not good places. They're really not. A lot of drugs, you know, and stuff. I don't do drugs. I repented. I don't drink. I don't do drugs like that. No. I'm grateful. No pharmakia. Oh, there goes my alarm. Hold on. Okay, it's 6 o'clock, so I gotta try to, you know, get myself together because, you know, the businesses will start to open. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's cold. It is cold, guys, for sure. It's cold. But, you know, you got to start getting yourself together because the businesses are going to start opening up. So you can't be just laying in front of people's businesses, of course. You don't, I respect, you know. Of course, you got to have respect. Respect is given, not earned, you know, or earned, not given, rather, I believe I meant to say. So, but yeah, you know, we got to stay strong. The food prices are going up, the gas prices, everything is getting wild. You know, we got to stay strong. We got to endure. That's why when you look down on people, you know, the Most High might put you right here next to me. You know? Yeah. Yeah. So those tax dollars, I pay into the system like everybody else. When I go to the store, I pay taxes. And, you know, we all pay taxes, so, yeah. Oof. But it is cold, so I'm trying to get myself together, guys. So, got to get out of the business here, you know. So, give me a second. The cars are going to start, pulling in, and they're going to start opening up soon. Oof. It's cold, cold, cold. Yeah, that's it. You know, we got to stay strong. It's all you can do is keep pressing on, guys, no matter what. Stay positive. Rebuke the devil. Stay away from the negative people. Because that's all they want to do is talk down to you, bring you down, you know. Try to make you feel bad about your situation, you know. And, but we're all going to be in a situation sooner than later because, it's getting harder to live. It's getting harder to live, you know. Yeah. And if anybody did take the jab, I'm not here to condemn you, but a lot of people took it and they made it, work. Don't let work become your idol. Don't let your job become an idol, because that's how a lot of people got ensnared by taking that COVID vaccine. You see, when we put our job above the Most High, that's what happens, Wow. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, Holly. Yeah, we know each other by the fruit. He said you'll know them by their fruit. You gotta have the fruit of love, the fruit of the spirit. Yeah, gray man. But if you did take it, my heart goes out to you. But because there's gonna be something coming down the pike. You're gonna be tested again, and I hope you pass the test. Because, yeah, we're getting ready we're going to be going through great tribulation. Well, that's good, Gray Man. I'm glad you did. But a lot of folks, and the churches too, a lot of the Christian churches, 501c3, Freemason pastors, yeah, they had vaccination centers at the church. You got to come out of those churches. You got to come out from under those wolves in sheep's clothing. You know what I mean? They try to say I'm a wolf. No. No, the pastors are making buku money, buku money, and they're worried about people like me. When these people are robbing you blind, your church is robbing you blind, your government's robbing you blind. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Yeah, stealing your money, stealing your tax dollars, your government. Yeah, guys, it's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy times to be alive, but we gotta endure. Hold on. We gotta endure. You gotta keep pressing forward, no matter what. Don't give in. Don't give up. But, whew. Yeah, it's a little cold, guys. It definitely is. Hello, Philip. How you doing? Greetings from Holland. Nice. Yeah. I'm in front of the Army recruiting office. That's what... Oh, my goodness. But, yeah, you just got to stay strong. These people are worried about... they want to condemn the poor people. YAHUSHUA said you're always going to have the poor. That's what YAHUSHUA said. How we treat the least of these. How you treat the least of these is how you treated the Messiah. He takes it very personal. So be careful, folks. The way you treat the least of these, you will be judged. Because that's who he's talking about. The least of these. The widows, the fatherless, the homeless, the poor. Yeah. But I'm doing okay. I gotta get up and I gotta keep it moving, because these are businesses. They're getting ready to open, so I gotta move along. You gotta move along. So, yep. But I don't ask for money on this channel, so that person that was talking about I'm angry about, I don't, if you want to donate, donate. If you don't, then don't. I don't monetize the channel. I don't make money. Yeah, the overlooked, right. Yep. So I don't make money. I don't monetize this channel. I'm not doing super chats. No. I don't believe that's right. I'm just a messenger. I'm not trying to make no money. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Gen X. I appreciate you. That's right. Awaken, Gen X. High time to awaken, my brother or sister. Hello, Subliminal. So, yeah, you just got to keep staying strong. You got to press on, You got to keep moving on. These, these people are more worried about, thinking I'm living off the tax dollars, but they don't care about the the rich that are stealing your tax dollars and, you know, bombing your neighbors. You're paying for a war right now. They don't care about that. They don't care about the war that's being, you know, paid for, killing people. Oh, thanks, Philip. I do my best. I have my issues. We all do. You know, we all got our problems. We all got our battles. That's life, you know. And in this life, not everyone's going to respect you. That's why you got to have strong boundaries with people. You know, a lot of people are going to test your boundaries in this world. They're going to test you to see if you're really about what you say you're about. And I am. So you best believe it. You got to have boundaries with people. You know, because people are going to try to test you. You know, there's a lot of temptation in our world. You know, there's always going to be temptations. But if you're going to truly repent and try to live a godly life, you got to do what's right. You know, by the Most High. Oh, really? Yeah, you got to have strong boundaries because people are going to test you out here. You know? Good morning, guys. They're going to test you. They're going to see, oh, let me see if this person is really about what they say they're about. Of course. You know, this ain't a game. These are people's lives. People are trying to heal. Narcissistic abuse is real. You know, people out here, some people really want to heal. Excuse me, I'm sorry. You know, they really want to heal. You know? So, and then, you know, you're always going to find out who your real friends are in this world, you know, who's got your back. And really, honestly, the Most High is my only friend. That's it. The Most High of heaven and earth, he's my only true friend. But you got to set strong boundaries with people, especially if you're a woman and you're out in the streets. You know, people are going to try to take advantage, so you got to stay strong. And, you know, they think women are desperate, maybe. I don't know. Some men out here, you know. But no, you don't lower your standards just because you're homeless. You stay close to the Most High God, you know. You stay close to the Most High God and let Him take care of you, provide, you know. He'll put it in people's heart to help you. You know, you don't got to sell your body. You don't got to lay down next to people that aren't your husband. No, you don't. You know, you really don't, folks. You got to live a godly life. You got to, you know. And that's why boundaries are important. Because a lot of times when we were going through abuse, we didn't have boundaries in our families. You know, we didn't have limits and say, no, I'm not going to tolerate this. So, you know, I had a gentleman, if you will, I'll still call him a gentleman, you know, offer me a place to live for $300 here in Trenton, you know. But I guess he still lived with this other lady, and she was on some kind of drugs, and she was jealous that I was there. Yeah, people can put your life in danger. You got to be careful, folks. You got to really watch it, you know. Yeah, I'm celibate. You know, my last relationship, that's it. You know, that's why I said, you know, this is a channel about healing. You got to set boundary with people. Uh-oh, we got some action, guys. What do we got? It's traffic stop. We got a traffic stop. Yeah, there's our little action this morning. See? So, yeah, you know, sometimes Satan can distract you with relationships. These relationships that are toxic, narcissistic, demonic, ungodly. You know, if we're not careful, we don't stand on business. If we're not about our Father's business, we can be led astray, you know, by temptation, you know. So, yeah, we got to stand firm. No, it's all good. Okay. Don't be sorry. You don't got to be sorry for taking space. You're good, man. You know? But yeah, we got to stand on business. We got to be about the Father's business. You got to be about your Father's business, you know. If you're a believer, you got to be about His business. Because there's a lot of distractions. You got to be discerning, and you got to stand firm on your beliefs. You know, you got to stand firm. And, you know, don't let anybody weaponize things that they know about you against you. It's not right. You shouldn't do that. It's not right. You know, that's why I say I'm NARC free. I don't, you know, even on this channel, you got to be careful because some folks can weaponize things about you, your past, who you used to be. You got to really watch who you open up to. And can, you know, yeah, we live in a very strange world today. And when you're studying narcissism and narcissistic abuse, you got to stay strong. Hey, Kathy. What's going on, Kathy? I'm not lowering my standards because I'm homeless. But a lot of folks will think you're going to lower your standards. And no. I'd rather stand out here and freeze before I lower my standards. I'll take my chance with the Most High. I'm not going to lower my standards, you know. Hey, what's going on, Kathy? I'm out here. I'm doing it, Kathy. I'm enduring. I'm enduring. That's right, Miss Kathy. How are you today? Good day to you. Yeah, you know, just because you're homeless, women, you don't got to do certain things. You got to stay strong. Set your boundaries. Don't let nobody take advantage of you. Men, too. This ain't just for women. It's for men. A lot of women will take advantage of you. But women, yeah, we get tested. And you gotta, you know, if you're in your healing journey, I'm good, thank you. If you're in your journey of healing, you know, right. You know, if we're in our healing journey, you know, those temptations are gonna come in. I've had quite a few. I had a married man, a taxi driver, trying to flirt, no, get behind me, Satan. You know, if you're texting me, you're married. No, get behind me, Satan. Unless your wife knows and all that stuff. Yeah, there's when you're in a relationship, you gotta protect your relationship. You know, for sure. There's always gonna be temptation, always. You know, yeah, because you know Satan is cunning, and he will try to ensnare you into old patterns of behavior, sexting, texting. You know, doing things you know you got no business doing. You know, no. You know, you gotta be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove with people in the world. You know, anywhere. I'm not perfect. You know, I'm not perfect, but I'm not lowering my standards, and I'm not changing my boundaries for no one. No one. You know, you got to heal. A lot of people, that's what they've done in their lives. They're suffering because of sexual immorality. Sleeping with this one. Laying in the bed with that one. Laying here, doing this. No, we're not those people anymore, folks. We are not those folks anymore. You're the new creature. You're the new creation. You don't lay in bed with strangers who you're not married to. You just don't do that. If you're walking with the Most High, you got to stand on business. Because people are going to test you. You know, and believe me, I've been tested. I've been tested in many ways. But no. You know, I've been tested in many, many ways. But I can't, you know, you got to take the Father at His word. You know, even an appearance of evil. He tells us not to even have an appearance of evil because, you know, when the pandemic happened and COVID happened, I have an associate of mine. She's out here. She's, you know, I know her brother. He was a Christian man, and, you know, he was in the Word, and, you know, and you learn from your mistakes. You got to break the patterns, you know, that, you know, you got to break the toxicity, the pattern, but. You know, we got a room, a motel room, And, typical. Got inappropriate with me. I'm not playing that game. No. No. Started saying inappropriate stuff, you know. And this is supposed to be godly men. No, the flesh is weak, folks. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. You got to rebuke the devil. So that's what I'm saying. Stay strong. You got to stay strong. You got to live for the Father. I was in a situation similar, with someone who wanted to preach the word with me and do all that stuff. And yeah. And he, started making sexually inappropriate comments. You got to protect your peace. Because people are going to push your boundaries. They're going to test boundaries. They're going to see if you're really about the Father's business. And he died. He died now. He's gone. He passed away, unfortunately. Yeah, he didn't make it. He didn't make it. So, but yeah, as a woman, you got to protect yourself. You got to be about the Father's business. That means if you repented of your sexual immorality, your fornication, yes, you should never lay, even being in a room with a man who's not your husband and not right. No, it's not right. It's evil. It's evil. So you learn on the journey. You got to learn from your mistakes. You got to make better choices because you're going to be tested again. The Father's going to come and he's going to test you and say, let me see if this child learned anything from their past mistakes, their past failures. Real talk. He's going to test. I'm trying to get rid of these cards so they're not all by the businesses. I'm trying to be polite here, because that's why people mess it up for everybody when they don't clean up after themselves and they don't put things back. So I don't want all these shopping carts. I didn't realize all these carts were right here by this Starbucks. But it's good. It's cold. But I'm up early, just like the word tells you. Seek him early. You got to seek the Father early. This is the best time to really pray and get in his word. And I'm under the firmament. I'm under the sky and everything. So it's what you make it. Yeah. Yeah, right. I highly doubt that. So, is that one of those subliminal comments you were telling me about? Yeah, I ain't no narc because I stand on my Father's business. And I don't like when people test my boundaries because that's what they do. Men are going to test the women and their boundaries. They're going to test your boundaries and make comments and everything covertly. Look, I'm not here for all that. You can't, it's just, you got to be you're either of the Father or you're not. And you got to be strong and you got to stand firm in your place and be about your Father's business. So you got to be about your Father's business. And that's why I said a lot of men try to take advantage, Oh, okay. Oh, well, yeah, maybe so. I don't know. So, but yeah, folks, if you ever, I hope none of y'all ever have to become homeless, but stand firm on your boundaries, ladies. Don't let these men try to manipulate you because they think you're desperate for a place to stay. A lot of them think you're desperate. No. You got to watch your back. A lot of people try to take advantage. Women too, don't get me wrong. Women do it too. They think you got a check and they're going to take all your money and you're stupid. No, you got to set boundaries because guess what? Narcissists can be landlords. Narcissists can be roommates. Narcissists are everywhere. Yes, they sure are. They will test the boundaries. Oh, okay, subliminal. But yeah, they're going to test you. They're going to test you. It's, and you got to pass the test. Don't fail the test. Yeah, that's what happened to me here in Trenton. I had a guy, I was going to pay him $300. And he started to try to, get in bed with me. No, it doesn't work like that. And guess what? He was a preacher's son. He grew up in the church. Come on, man. These people think I'm a clown or something. I was like, brother, you out your mind. Yeah, they're going to test you, folks. And he grew up in the church. Ain't that something? He grew up in the church. Yeah, but people twist scriptures, you know. There's also scriptures about the poor. You know, you're not supposed to look over the poor. You're supposed to help the poor. YAHUSHUA HaMashiach said you're always going to have the poor. You're always going to have the poor. And I do work. I do the preaching work. You know, that's what I'm saying. I do the preaching work and I'm highly blessed. I'm not starving. You know. But yeah, people love to zone in on scriptures and twist scriptures to try to hold you down and stuff, you know. So, because YAHUSHUA made it clear how you treat the homeless, yeah, it matters to him how you treat people. Of course it does. But yeah, if you're able to work, of course, if you're able to, but not everybody can work. That's the reality. Not everybody's able to work, you know. Not everybody can. Some people are disabled. Some people have different issues. Yeah. So, you know, and they deserve to heal. You know, that's what I'm saying. They deserve to heal. You know, if they've been through trauma and stuff, yeah. If they're on disability, you know, I can only speak for myself, but I earned my disability. Yes, I sure did. I earned all my pennies, and I don't let toxic people shame me for it or try to gaslight me, you know, or any of that stuff, you know, put me down. But I do the preaching work. That's the thing. I do the preaching work. Hello. Good morning. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Whew. So, yeah, I like to do the preaching work. Hello, everyone. Good day. Yeah. So that's a form of work, you know. Yeah, AI is taking over the jobs, for sure. But yeah, there's a lot of people, they've been through trauma. And I believe they deserve a chance to heal. And sometimes you need to be on disability to get good insurance, to get a good therapist. But if your therapist is pushing you towards pharmacia and psychiatric meds, well, yeah, I don't believe in that. I believe in holistic healing, you know, eat right, exercise, stay in the Father's Word. You know, sometimes toxic friendships, yeah, they'll make you sick too. If you have toxic people in your life, they sure will they'll make you sick. Mentally and emotionally too, you know. You gotta watch. You gotta protect your boundaries. Because, yeah, not everybody's gonna respect, you know, your situation or whatever. You gotta be careful. So, hold on, guys. Yeah, I'm in the Starbucks. Thank you. I'm not in Burger King. For some reason, I don't know what it is. Burger King music, I guess, has copyrighted stuff. For some reason, not so much here in Starbucks. So. Yeah. I don't particularly. So yeah, family, you gotta be about the Father's business. You know, there's gonna be a lot of temptation, distraction, especially if you have a channel. You know, you got a channel, people start coming to your channel. But that's why I said you gotta be on point. You gotta study to show yourselves approved about these relationships. You know, setting strong boundaries with people. You know. But we got to be about our Father's business. We got to set boundaries. So, hold on a second. I'm trying to set myself up here. Thank you. Bear with me, guys. Yeah. So, I got my laptop out. Yeah. All right, give me a sec. I'm trying to get set up and stay warm. Yeah, I'm in the Starbucks. Thankfully, they don't really give me a copyright strike here. I don't know what, but Burger King, yeah, you get a copyright strike. So I couldn't monetize the channel anyway, and I don't want to monetize it. I don't do this for money. I just love the Father's word. All right. Yeah, that's it, folks. Just you gotta be on the. You gotta be, just stay on the Father's business. Yeah, I sleep alone. I stay to myself because, like I said, a lot of men try to take advantage of women in the streets. You know, sometimes they assume you're a prostitute. Like you're gonna lay in bed with them. No, that's what prostitutes do. That's what ungodly women do. They lay in bed with men who are not their husbands. Whether you're having sexual intercourse or not is irrelevant. You got to stand on business, your boundaries, and yeah, you will be tested. A lot of men, I don't want to say it's all men, but so far, yeah, it's all the same. I haven't met one that was any different. But Father, forgive them. Hopefully they realize the error of their ways. Yeah. We don't. Do you lay in bed with people when you go to Sunday church? Do you invite sisters to lay in the bed? No. You would be talked about in the church, as you should. But who knows with these Christian churches these days? They're doing all kinds of wicked things. They're doing all kinds of evil. That's something, no. So you got to be careful. Yeah, the women can get raped by men at the homeless shelter. Of course, it's just dangerous. You got to always be vigilant, discerning. Yes, it can be dangerous for a lady out here. That's why I'm saying you got to have boundaries. You got to. Some men will try to test you, but you got to know who you are in the Most High. You got to know. You got to be about Him. That's the only thing I know how to do, because I'm trying to heal. I'm not trying to do anything where somebody can gossip behind my back, kick my back in. Oh, you didn't. I'm not doing those things. I don't live like that anymore. I try not to. Like I said, I had an associate of mine, her brother. He was into the Word. Hello, Maui. Nice to meet you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, I'm just telling you, yeah, you gotta watch. You gotta protect yourself. But I had a situation. He passed away, He died. That guy died. He was a Christian. I was trying to teach him. Not that I'm a teacher or, whatever, but I was sharing the word with him and the things that I've learned on the journey, And he got inappropriate with me. He's supposed to be a Christian. No, sir. You got to learn from our mistakes and make wiser choices. When we see red flags, we got to trust them when we see them. If we overlook the red flags, don't get upset when it doesn't turn out good. But I had a situation like that where this man, and we celebrated Passover and everything. It was a beautiful Passover. It was. We had Passover lamb and yeah, I know they should be. Right, Gray? But I had that situation. Oh, there's my guy. There you are. I'm glad you're back, Itchy. I thought maybe you was upset with me. Wait a minute. Hold on. I thought you were upset. I didn't know, because I know you're married, so I didn't know if you're, I don't want your wife to get upset and everything. Oh, okay. I didn't hear from you. I was starting to think negative things, like, maybe, he's upset with me. No, it was an honest mistake. I'm glad you came back. Yeah, but if you didn't, then so be it, But because I considered you a friend, and it's not just the monetary stuff. I don't care about the money. It's the fellowship, right? It's iron sharpening iron. We need our brothers and sisters in Christ and Yahushua and Jesus, as some would say. But no, I gotta set those strong boundaries, you know? Yeah, we gotta have boundaries with people. We gotta have limits. But no, we celebrated Passover. He was a Christian, and we celebrated Passover together. And I was trying to share the good news. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know your situation and stuff, but yeah, we just gotta, we gotta protect our boundaries, we strong boundaries. Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, because as a woman of the Most High, I'm trying to, I'm trying to change my life. I don't want to live how I used to live when I was in the world. There's a lot of temptations, a lot of temptations. But yeah, a lot of men, not all, but a lot of men will try to take advantage. Yeah, I was talking to my brother here. I said, I don't know, maybe he's upset and mad at me because I took his wrench. Maybe he had a narcissistic injury or something. I was, like, who knows? Like, some people might take it the wrong way. Oh, okay, okay. Well, sometimes the enemy can play in our thought life. We can think something that's not true about a person. Like, no. But yeah, it's pretty cold. I don't know why they didn't call a code blue. I don't know why they didn't. But it is what it is. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, I don't know. I accidentally took you off the roster, whatever you call this, the mod. The roster, the mod. Whatever they call it, right? Yeah. No, I just yeah, I'm just trying to keep the chat box, have some civility. Some civility, that's all. But no, it was an honest mistake. It was an honest mistake. But yeah, I'm just waking up. I'm at the Starbucks. The music is in the back, so yeah, thank you, Subliminal, for reminding me about the music. For some reason, Starbucks doesn't give me community strikes, but that Burger King did. Oh, thank you. Yeah, because I felt bad. I don't know what you came up as, but I took off some people, you know. And I was talking to Subliminal about it too, the other mod, yeah. Oh no, you're okay. Were you a moderator? Were you, like I said, it's not personal, guys. I just have to keep these trolls out of here. I need, moderators to keep these people out. Yeah, that's true, Gray Man. That's true. Yeah. Oh, you're at Dunkin'? Okay. Yeah, I like the French vanilla from Dunkin'. I like none of this coffee is good, but I made some organic coffee. I have some milk and, I carry my organic coffee and get hot water and stuff. So, yeah. 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 Yeah, I know. Well, it's not personal. Yeah, it's not personal, if I took you off as a moderator, but Itchy was an accident. But no, it's just I'm trying to, get people I can develop, some trust with. Trust takes time. Even in a friendship, you know, no good friendship, relationship, you don't rush it. It takes time to build trust. It takes time to build that trust. Sometimes, right? You gotta prove that you're trustworthy. I can't just assume that you're trustworthy. I gotta see things to believe them nowadays. Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry he said that to you. That's not nice. Yeah. Who, me or your dad, you mean? What do you mean? Me or your dad saying that? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, guys. Oh, okay. Oh, I understand. Yeah. Well, we gotta, even Yahushua had boundaries. Yahushua, the Messiah, he had boundaries. Right. Yeah. Trust takes time. Yeah, it takes time. I gotta take things slow. I gotta take things slow these days, because I'm in the process of letting the Father heal me. He's got to bind up those wounds, those childhood wounds, those hurts. You shouldn't get in a relationship until you deal with self. Until you deal with yourself and your own, wounds. Because it can come out in a marriage, it can come out in a friendship. You gotta heal. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta heal. There's things that could trigger us from childhood, and yeah, like I said, I got a lot of narcissistic abuse content that I watch, trying to heal too. Yeah, yeah, you know, because if we're not careful, people can take advantage. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's true. You gotta, he tells us not to have a spirit of fear. We can't have a spirit of fear. And sometimes, when I'm out here as a woman in the streets and stuff, I try not to have a spirit of fear. I'm not trying to be a man. I'm a woman, but I gotta have some kind of toughness to me a little bit because, I'm not going for anything. I'm not just going for anything. You know, I'm not a worldly woman anymore. I gotta have these. There's gotta be boundaries. They gotta have that. Especially if you're married and you get married, right? You finally get married and stuff. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll give you the address, Itchy, to the motel. For real. I can, if you want to send it. I used to carry mace, but I accidentally dropped the mace in my mailbox when I delivered my last rent check to the lady in Texas. I dropped my keys in the mace in there, but I don't carry knives because I'll use them. I'm not a joke. I'm very militant. If you're in the streets, you're a woman. But I don't want to go to jail and prison. I don't think New Jersey has stand your ground laws. Florida has stand your ground. Texas has stand your ground. I don't think New Jersey does. Oh, okay. Thanks, Subliminal. Yeah. Well, Florida's a stand your ground, right, Subliminal? Florida's a stand your ground law. I like doing dishes. I didn't like doing the dishes when I was a teenager, living under my parents' roof. Oh, okay. Open carry, okay. Yeah, Texas too. Yeah, Florida's stand your ground. I don't think New Jersey is stand your ground law. Yeah, yeah. I think New Jersey is we have some weird stuff laws here, yeah. When it comes to protecting yourself, which is another reason why I don't like New Jersey. Oh, okay, gray man. Okay, you carry it, yeah. So yeah, you gotta check your laws and stuff, yeah. But if I have a weapon, I'm not afraid to use it. That's it. That's it. I don't have a license to carry, and I don't, my background check probably wouldn't suffice anyway, you know. Because, yeah, I've been through a lot of trauma. And I have had to, and have had to protect myself. Some may even call it reactive abuse. Yeah, that bear mace. I think ICE agents were spraying people with bear mace. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but the days are evil, you know, we got to protect ourselves. But remember, if we live by the sword, we die by the sword too, so, yeah. But I don't think it's a sin to have a weapon. You know, the disciples had swords, you know, they were carrying swords. Oh, okay. Oh, dogs, yeah. Oh, sister. Oh, okay, you do? I'm a little tired, but it's early. Hopefully I get somewhere to rest. Maybe tonight will be a code blue, and then it's just a hassle. I just pray for housing. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't want to get too personal about my background because people weaponize things against you. If you know, you know. But I've certainly have protected myself. And I've gotten domestic charges, so I just prefer to stay out of toxic relationships altogether at this point in my life. Yeah, to avoid things at all costs. If someone's not treating you properly, just get out of the relationship. It's not worth going to jail. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, because sometimes we get in these toxic relationships and, you know, sometimes we react or we protect ourselves, and next thing you know, you're the one being charged with domestic violence. Yep. And then the narcissistic person likes to spin it that you're the abuser for reacting to their abuse. You know, the gaslighting, the manipulation, the lies, the cheating, the chatting, the texting, the sexting. Hello, Tomaha. How you doing? So yeah, we gotta, you know, it's best to just stay out of toxicity and heal, and you know, yeah. I mean, because you gotta, that's the goal, is to work on, you know, regulating your nervous system so you're not so, you know, reactive and triggered, you know, to work on that stuff, right? Yeah, exactly. Toxic narcs, yeah. My humble apologies, subliminal, about the narc cart. Yeah, I told you I can be sensitive. I can be sensitive. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's because I'm a woman or not, but yeah, I can be vulnerable sometimes. I can feel sensitive. Yeah. Uh, oh wow. Yeah, cops are crooked. Yeah. Led Zeppelin. Okay. So yeah, I can be sensitive. That's why I said, you know, it's hard to, you know, it takes a lot of courage, I suppose, to come on social media, and you got to be careful of how much of yourself you're sharing. Yeah, because yeah, you know, people can misinterpret you, I guess. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, subliminal. See, thanks for the clarification. Well, I told you when we talked, I told you I can be a little sensitive too sometimes. You know, I'm still working through it. You know, I can feel like somebody's attacking me or something. But, oh, really? She did? Oh, wow, you blocked him? Oh, okay. Yeah, these relationships, excuse me, they can get toxic. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Sorry, it's cold. My nose is cold. But yeah, Subliminal, you're cool, you know. Thank you for, being a brother too, It's I'm sensitive because yeah, after you've been through toxicity and abuse, it's hard for me to trust people. I'm sensitive. Yeah, yeah. So I'm working on that. I'm trying to learn how to trust again, and yeah, and sometimes I take things as an attack or take things personal, and I shouldn't because it's hard, I'm trying to learn who really has my back and who's just pretending, Especially if you've gone through some kind of abusive situation, trauma, it takes time to trust again, It can take some time. And that's why I said you got to set strong boundaries. You got to have those strong boundaries, right? Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I'm glad you all came to the live. Oh, really? Yeah, yeah, that's gonna happen, right? I put the cart back. That's why you saw me pushing those carts back, because, I'm not trying to, first of all, I'm trying to be under the radar. You don't, it's not like I'm trying to let them know I'm homeless, but I'm sure people figure it out. People aren't stupid, they figure things out. Oh, I'm sorry, Tomahawk. Yeah, those toxic relationships are rough. They sure are. Yeah, the mobile car, right. Yeah, the mobile car. I know what you mean. Yeah, I grew out of a lot of friendships. That's what I'm saying. I don't live like a worldly woman anymore. I'm working on my life and practice what you preach, as they say, for sure. And you're not going to have a lot of friends if you're really into the scriptures. You're not going to have a lot of friends. That's my take. Yeah. When you're about the Father's business, you don't have friends. I mean, you might have a few, good friends, in as believers, but still, we're not perfect. We might offend one another in word or in deed, right? We may offend each other. Yeah, yeah. That's true. Sometimes, yeah. But hopefully the sun comes out. It looks like it's starting to break daylight here, so hopefully I can find somewhere to rest. I need somewhere to, you don't get a lot of sleep. That's another reason why I have to be in the spirit. It's not easy, and the trolls come in, and you're tired. But I do my best not to insult. Excuse me, return insult for insult. Turn the other cheek. Yeah, Florida, it rains a lot. Yeah. I'm in New Jersey. I'm in a Starbucks. Yeah, in the United States. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I do want to be corrected, but, I'm still learning, trying to humble myself when it comes to constructive criticism and not take it as an attack. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. That pest control. I know Florida, man. Those bugs must be huge. Those roaches, those palmetto bugs. Yeah, those palmetto bugs. They were huge. I was living in this lady's home. This lady. She let me rent. In her home, just this little bed. It was very small space. But But yeah, I went in the bathroom, man, they were everywhere. Palmetto bug was like this big. I saw that palmetto bug. It was this huge in her shower in the bathroom, and I said, "Nope, no way, Jose. I'm good. I didn't shower there. I had to get out of there. The chair in the kitchen full of roaches. All they did was you turn the light and the roaches scattered out of that freaking that lazy boy chair. No, I don't like it. That's the only thing I didn't like about Florida was those roaches, those big come-out of bugs. I don't do those. Oh, okay. No, New Jersey's cold right now. Yeah, we get cold. We get snow and stuff. Yeah, no, New Jersey's not like Miami. But when I lived in West Palm Beach, one day it was Christmas. It happened to be Christmas because I had just got to West Palm. I left Jersey. I got on the Greyhound and I went to my ticket was for Miami, but the father had me go to West Palm. I was talking to some people on the train, and they had me go to West Palm. Yeah, that was the spirit led me there. So, yeah, Miami probably would have chewed me up and spit me out. Very, it's like a modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. And I'm not from Miami, Florida, so I'm sure I would have been an easy target for people. Yeah. So the father sent me to West Palm, and I wanted to just, meet people and do the preaching work and share my faith. And, it's a journey. I've been on a journey, and you got to heal, you got to grow. You learn from your mistakes, right? At least some people do, not everybody, but you got to learn from your mistakes and repent, yeah. But one time when I was there on a Christmas and it was freezing, it was cold. I felt like I was in New Jersey. I was in West Palm. Yeah, I was in West Palm. Yeah, exactly. The father had me go to West Palm Beach. Yeah. Yeah. And the one of the conductors, I was talking about the Father and the Bible and scriptures with people on the train. I'm sure it is. Yeah, definitely. Yep. That's why the Father didn't have me go there. I just picked wherever. I just wanted to. That was during the pandemic, and COVID, and I was going through parental alienation with just different things, And I just said, enough is enough. I'm ready to get out of here. I'm out. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been through a lot. I'm sure we all have, but my faith is very strong. It means a lot to me. So that's why I said, yeah. That's why I like to preach. I have a purpose. I do like to preach and talk about the word. Yeah. I'll be right back, guys. Give me 1 second. Stand by, okay? Stand by. I'm not ending the live. I'm just going to ask the barista for something. Oh, you have? I see your tears and count my wounds, and now it appears I'm feeling guilty when I did. Do you think that I know what you hear? Some of this seems bringing us closer, and I see it in your eyes, judging why you try. All right, I'm back, guys. I got some hot water. I asked them for hot water, so that was nice. Yeah. But oh, East Boynton. Yeah, Boynton. I was in Boynton Beach. Yeah, I was in Boynton Beach, Itchy. Yeah, Subliminal, he's in Florida too. Yeah, I miss Florida. Not the bugs. I don't miss the bugs, but I miss Florida. I did love the weather. I did. I always woke up positive, for the most part. I don't know. I like to start my day off in good spirits, and yeah, I like to try to start my day off in a good in a on the good foot, you know, for sure. I'm just watching you guys talk for a minute. I'm just trying to stay warm. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I got my scripture book right here. Of the word. I always have a physical copy. I've had so many scripture books. Yeah, got to get your mind right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, the Father's word says, "Seek Him early, and you shall find Him." So, you know, yeah, seek Him early, right, and you shall find. Yeah, yeah. I like to, meditate in His Word, get in His Word. I try not to be distracted by the phone and social media. I try. Exactly, subliminal. You got that right. That's the truth. This is my sword. And I'm in a battle just like my brothers are. You guys have to deal with lust, and women too. Women deal with lust. I'm sure they do. I'm a woman, but you guys, I couldn't stand Florida. That's the only thing. I didn't like going to the beach. Hey, clown, what you doing? Hey, good to see you. Oh, you did? Okay. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's the only thing. It was a huge culture shock being a Jersey girl and going to Florida and seeing all those women in their thong bikinis and being on the beach around teenage boys. Yeah, that ain't my scene, guys. That is not my scene. I'm sorry. That's just not my scene. I was it wasn't, it's not for me. It's not to condemn anybody. If that's their choice, that's what they choose. But as a mother of 5 children, I just couldn't see myself wearing a thong bikini around teenage boys. I'm sorry. I think it's a perverted way. It could be a perverted way, but I digress, right? I just wasn't my scene. Yeah. I mean, I love the beach, I love the ocean, I love the weather, but all that nudity and stuff. I mean, it wasn't a nude beach, but it's Florida. It's Florida. Y'all know, so. All right, appropriate, clown. We gotta be appropriate, okay? Well, we gotta be appropriate, guys. Yeah. Trying to keep it clean. We gotta keep it G. PG. We got no. I understand, clown, but yeah. No, actually, I don't make my lives for children. If anybody noticed that, I don't know if the moderators or the people who follow this channel. This is adult conversations. This is adult, but not that adult. No, no, I'm not upset, clown. You're good. But no, no, I just but that, you understand what I'm saying? It ain't my scene. I just feel like it's just not for me. Those are my boundaries. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, itchy. I don't know how men feel about it. I'm sure the dogs love it. The dogs. And there's dog women, so this is an attack on men because we know there's women that are dogs, but I'm sure the dogs love it. But It was a shell shock. It was a shell shock to go to Florida and see all the nakedness. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, it was a shell shock. Oh, I know, Gray Man. Yeah, they're getting ready for that digital ID and everything, digital identity and all that stuff, right? Digital ID, digital identity. Yeah, I used to live in Florida. I was in West Palm Beach. Best time of my life for the most part. I loved it. I loved it. I know, right? It would just show your ankle. Exactly. Yeah, Clown. Where are you from again, Clown? Which state are you in? Where are you at again? Oh, okay, cool, awesome. I love kitty cats. Oh, California. So yeah, there's a lot of nudity in Cali. I know that. Cali's got a lot of nudes, huh? A lot of nakedness. Oh, okay. Thanks for showing up here. Yeah. Yeah, tell the cats, send the cats my love. I love cats. Send the cats my love, okay? I love cats. Oh, okay. But there's probably a lot of nudity there too, right? The women in California, I'm sure it's hot, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Oh my goodness, 12 cats? I love kitty cats. Cats are awesome. Yeah, cats are awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. Even the gym, even the gym has become a place where you can't really relax at the gym. Yeah. I know, right? Yeah, dogs are cool. I like chihuahuas. I like chihuahuas. I do. I like little chihuahuas. Oh, hello there. Hi. I don't remember, Miss Lady. How you doing? Yeah. Well, I was in Texas and I moved back to New Jersey to be around my children, going through some domestic violence, but I'll be all right. Domestic violence isn't always, beating people up. It's emotional, it's mental, it's spiritual, but I'll be okay. Oh, you do? Oh. Yeah, I like chihuahuas. I love little chihuahuas. I had a chihuahua. Yeah, I had a chihuahua. Animals are cool. That's what I'm saying. Once I get on my feet, I think I'm going to work with cats, in an animal shelter. I think that would be good for my mental health. Because I'm not so good with people sometimes. Like, I don't want my love to wax cold. But honestly, sometimes some would say antisocial, but I don't have time for the fake anymore. I don't have time for the fake, stuff. The fakeness. Yeah, the fakeness. Even here just now with this barista, I asked him for hot water and I tried to say hello to the lady. I was like, hey, no response. It is what it is. Yes, you can send money if one of the moderators wants to put my PayPal or Cash App in the chat since you're asking because I don't beg for money on here. I don't beg for money. But it's chosen. My Cash App is chosen 0527. That's my Cash App. My PayPal is YAHUSHUA 0527. Oh, wait a minute. I'll do my best. Hold on. I got my laptop. Let me see, guys. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Itchy. Okay. Yeah, because she's asking that, people. I'll try to pin it. Hold on. Yeah, because, some people. Whoops. Wait a minute. Some people think I'm just on here begging for money. I'm just. These people are weird, right? But that's all right. But yeah, if you would like to donate or something, I would appreciate it, of course. Thank you. Yeah. And Candace Rivera is my Cash App. And my PayPal is going to be a different name. My PayPal is my government name, and my Cash App is my biological name. Yeah, exactly. You're always you guys have been on my lives for a while now. I'm not looking for money, and I'm not grifting or whatever that is. Grifting. No. I don't beg for money on here. But if someone wants to donate, they're more than welcome, of course. Exactly, yeah. Yeah. But there's a lot of scammers, you got to be careful. There are a lot of scammers, yeah, trying to just scam people out of money. So I don't blame you. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Oh, thank you, sister. If I can call you sister, I'm assuming. And I love that collie. That's a beautiful collie. I see the little collie. I like collies too. I do like collies. They're beautiful dogs. Collies, little collies, they're beautiful. Yeah, my son, that's my oldest boy's birthday. May 27th. 0527. That's my oldest boy's birthday. I don't celebrate birthdays anymore, but that's the day he was born. Yeah, 0527. That's his May 27th. Wait a minute, what is 527? Yeah. Yeah, 527, I believe. If you would like to, clown, if you want to put it in the chat, I don't know how you want to do that because, so I don't know, you don't want everybody to have your number, your phone number. Oh, okay. I have an email. If you want to put my email, my backup email, of course. If you want to, my email is. Let me check. Hold on. Let me get this right, because I have a backup email. Let me see. Yeah, we got to always be careful on social media. Of course, we got to use wisdom, discernment, have boundaries. So I don't give out my real phone number. I have a backup phone number. So, but I'll give you my backup email if I can find it. Hold on. Yeah, my backup email. Yeah, we protect ourselves. Right, I know. So my email is, hold on, I'm trying to see it on the screen. Let me see. It's going to be this. Hold on. I got to get my mouse. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab my mouse too. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, my son's falls on Memorial Day weekend. Yeah. Yeah, Memorial Day weekend. Yeah. My oldest son that's 19 is May 27. Oh, okay. Let me screenshot it. Hold on. Let me screen. Okay, I took a screenshot, so I got it. Oh, okay. Okay. I gotta plug in my phone pretty soon. The battery's getting kind of low here, so I might have to get off this live. I've been on for a minute, so I don't think they're really happy that I'm making my own coffee. I got hot water. I'm making my own coffee, so try not to get, kicked out, right? But sometimes they see you with a laptop. They don't mess with you. You kind of look like you're working. You're doing something, right? I am kind of working. Yeah, I took the screenshot, clown. I got it. Thank you. And my email. Okay, well, yeah, thank you. Yeah, you got to be safe. We got to be careful. We got to be so careful. Set boundaries. Until you learn to trust and get to know people. Yeah, you got to, build that rapport and that trust. Yeah, there's a lot of bad people in the world too, and social media is toxic sometimes, for sure. It can be toxic. So, well, thank you, clown. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. But I'm probably gonna jump off pretty soon, because I gotta charge the phone. Yeah, let me see. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, I gotta get me something to eat sooner or later. I might go to the soup kitchen. Oh, thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, I might head to the soup kitchen and get something to eat. I mean, I have coffee and I have some milk. I have some pistachio nuts, but at some point, you do have to have something substantial to eat too. So they have some churches that feed people. They have churches and places to get food. And like I said, sometimes I get blessed. People see me and they might buy me food out here. I try not to beg and, beg. And if I do ask somebody, I'll say, excuse me, I haven't eaten anything. Could you buy me something to eat? I don't ask for money. Yeah, I don't ask for any kind of money. So there's ways to do things to make people feel safe, to make them feel comfortable with you. Like, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes people bless me and they'll see me with the card or at Wawa and like the breakfast burrito and stuff like that. I got blessed. Yeah. But I do have to apply for food stamps again. I got to reapply for my stamps and stuff and take baby steps. I got to take the little baby steps. Yeah. Oh my gosh, are you serious? I've heard of stories like that. Oh, thanks, clown. I appreciate that. Yeah, I heard stories. Yeah, he probably wanted drugs. That's why might probably wanted drugs. But yeah, but I try to be respectful. Yeah. But I try to be respectable and not, I did ask a police officer the other day. I don't know what got into me. I was tired, exhausted. Yeah, if $5 is can get you a snack or something, yeah. I'm not picky. I'm not asking for $1 million here. Or I'm not asking at all, really. But if you're more than welcome if you'd like to donate. Yeah, no. Yeah, thanks for that. The Father's going to take care. He's going to provide. I'll be all right. Everything will work out. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I try to pay it forward. Sometimes, if I see a homeless person, I'll help them. Not to boast or brag or not to talk about my good works, right? Because we should have good works if we're supposed to be godly people. I mean, even atheists help people. Some atheists help people more than Christians. Some atheists do more good than Christians. Exactly, Itchy. That's why I get blessed, because it comes back sevenfold. Yes, it does. You reap what you sow. You put good out, it comes back. That's why I'm not stingy. I'm not stingy. I share. I share. Yeah. It does come back. It certainly does. The only thing I don't like about about sometimes with these phones, I notice, I guess it's my technology. I, I start breaking up and I look like a shapeshifter. I don't like that. It's probably the 5G towers. I'm surrounded by Wi-Fi, 5G. Yeah. Yeah. But listen, guys, I'm going to try to get off this live right now. Maybe I'll be back later, but I'm tired. I'm just sitting here. I got to charge the phone. So thanks for showing up. But, I try to stay on topic, but we can talk about different things. Yeah. Who changed you? Me or somebody else? All right. Thanks, Itchy. Appreciate you. I'm glad I got you back on as a mod because I thought maybe, yeah, I thought maybe you were upset because I accidentally bumped you out of a mod. I was starting to think negative, like, oh my gosh, maybe he got mad and now he's ignoring me. Yeah, I'm just drinking, drinking my stuff. Trying to stay warm, stay out of trouble. I've changed you, clown? Oh, well, that's cool, Itchy. Yeah, no, you seem like a decent brother. That's cool. Yeah, Florida guys are chill, right? You just want to go fishing. Go to the beach and go fishing. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, clown. That's all right. You'll come out of it. Stay strong. You'll be all right. I know it's hard, even in my situation. I feel broken sometimes. I feel down and tired of. I get tired. It's not all fun sometimes. It's tough. But you know what? I'm still blessed because I woke up. I'm breathing. I still got more than most people in this world that are suffering. So many people are suffering, and I count my blessings. I try to count my blessings. Yeah, I've been through a lot, and I know I got to be careful, with what I share on here because social media is toxic. Yeah. Oh, okay. That sounds lovely. Thank you. Yeah. But I'm trying to stay positive even through my hardships because it's going to get harder. Prices are going up. I try to warn people, but they didn't want to listen. Excuse me, they didn't want to prepare. My family, they're not believers. They think I'm a religious fanatic. I'm crazy. But, we need to be prepared, because, even if we stockpile all the food in the world, we still have to prepare mentally and emotionally for what's coming, because nobody's going to stop what's coming. It's here. We're at war. Things are getting worse. AI is replacing people's jobs. Exactly, Itchy. You get it. You understand it. Yeah. I've always been called the town crazy. Yeah, AI. Yeah, those AI robots, they sent them out there. They got humanoid robots in the war now, I heard. They got humanoids. They sent humanoids over there. Russia's got their humanoids. China, yeah, it's crazy. Oh yeah, I'm a flat earther. I believe in biblical cosmology for sure. I got eyes to see. I got eyes to see. The sun is local. The sun is right here. Oh wow, look at that beautiful sunrise coming through, guys. We got it. We got a sunrise coming in. There we go. We got our sun. He's coming. Yeah. Yeah, the fallen ones. So we got the sun coming out. Hopefully it warms up a little bit, you know? It's gonna warm up. So the sun's coming out. Yeah. You know, I look at the sun. I've looked at the sun my whole life. They said don't look at the sun, you'll go blind. That was another lie. That was another lie. I look right at the sun. They say it's good for your pineal gland. I heard that, you know, looking at directly at the sun is good for your pineal gland. I've been looking at the sun my whole life since a child. I was a weird child rather. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stare at the sun. I want to go blind. I want to be blind. I thought it was, you know, real, so I would stare at the sun. But it doesn't make you blind. That's another lie. Staring at our sun does not blind you. But yeah, I've heard people say it's good for the pineal gland, you know, to stare at the sun. So sun gazers, yeah, yeah. Oh, pineal gland. Okay, pineal gland, yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, clown. You use AI. Well, I don't think it's bad to use AI, but you know. Oh, I'm sorry you went through that. Hello there, 5553, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, sometimes I do copy and paste. Like if I see a scripture on Facebook and a meme, you know, I will share it here. Yeah, it's the sunscreen, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, they sure do. Well, sometimes I'll copy and paste scriptures, you know, like Facebook posts, because, you know, scriptures, nobody owns the word. Nobody owns the word of the Most High. Like, but yeah, certain content, yeah. You know, people will steal your content or they won't give you credit, you know, you gotta, but yeah, but when it comes to like scriptures and copying scripture, it's the word, you know, it's the word. Oh, I got you. Yeah, that's not right. I know what you mean. Yeah, that part. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Itchy, take care. You take care of yourself. Have a great day. Stay strong out there. Rebuke the devil. Rebuke the devil, because he's trying to tempt us into bad things. Yeah. Oh, yeah, like someone can screenshot me on this YouTube live and make a video about me. All right, peace out. Shalom, peace. So yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, somebody was bullying me on Instagram, and they did that to me. They made an AI video about me. Yeah, that's why a lot of folks don't show their face, because yeah, with AI technology, they can make it look like I'm talking and I'm saying something, but it's not me. Yeah, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous world, you know. Yeah. But I'm gonna get going, guys. I gotta charge up my phone, and you know, I don't want to sit here too long because I'm not buying any coffee or here, and I don't think they're thrilled that I made my own coffee with the hot water, because you know, it's Starbucks. It's a business. It's business. You know, it's all about the business. But I'll hit you up. Yeah. All right, Subliminal. I appreciate you guys, my moderators. I thank you for being here. Thanks, Subliminal, for understanding, being forgiving. Thank you, Subliminal, for being an understanding brother, being a forgiving man. Thank you. All right, great man. I see you there too. Okay, yeah. Okay, guys. Anyhow, yeah, I'm going to charge the phone, stay out of trouble. Maybe I'll sit somewhere in this sun. I got to get some warmth. It's cold. So I'm going to try to do that. And just, yeah, I'll see you all on the next one, all right? Take care of yourselves. Thanks, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Stay safe. All right.